Good morning, David Paul here. I'm back at the perfect little canal boat that I made a video of the other day, and I managed to get to speak to the owner of this boat, and I didn't think he would let me, but he's very keen to talk about his boat. He's as enthusiastic about the thing as I am, and so anyway, I asked him if he wouldn't mind if I made a video of the interior, and the reason why is because I know what these boats are like internally, but I got 1,000 views on my channel on this very boat within 24 hours, so I thought a lot of people are interested out there, and I've got some folks on the channel who are in America who will have no knowledge of the British canal system or the narrow boats or anything like that. So I thought, let's have a look and show them what it's like to live in such a thing. And also, I have a friend, Marty, who I've been trying to persuade him to go and live on a boat and save some money, but he's never checked it out, so I'm in a sense checking it out for him and making the video. Okay, so here's our little small canal boat. Now, what you got to realize is these were freight vessels when they first were built, so the amount of accommodation that this thing provides is actually way bigger than the original boat. So you'd have a 70-foot long boat and it would all be freight at the front, and at the back, at the stern, you would have like a little section about, oh, I don't know what, about 15 foot long or something, and the whole family would try and live in that. They'd be sleeping all over the place. Some of them would get a couple of sacks and go and sleep out on the cargo under a tarpaulin. So anyway, let's give it a go.
Hello, mate.
Hiya, you alright?
Here you are here.
This is Steve, and he's the owner of the boat.
Hello, mate.
So we're going to talk about the boat, what it's like living on her, all the little nuances and all the stuff that he knows that I don't know about this boat. So let's have a go. Go for it.
How are we doing?
So let's go in and you can tell me, give us a tour, tell us about all the joys and otherwise.
We'll come in.
Okay, now what you might notice straight away is you think, oh my god, this is small, but you got to realize, you know, the human body, it wants to go to bed, it wants to be warm, and it wants a meal in its belly, and that's it. And that's basically all you need, you know, your biological needs. And then all of a sudden, all these other things begin to pale into insignificance. And this is damn cozy. One of the immediate thing I see here, which if you could just feel this, you know, the heat coming off this stove. It's a diesel stove, and it is seriously warm in here. And all these people who are complaining about being cold this winter and everything, I'm sure this would just be a total joy for them, living somewhere like this. That's a very simple stove. I really like that.
For the size of boat, it's perfect. But more to the point, it saves you having to bring wood and chop wood to and from boats, and
yeah,
all you need is a jerry can. Jerry can in winter will last you 2 days.
Yeah.
Much easier, cleaner. Smells.
That's the thing I immediately notice, is the place is so damn clean and there's no dust all over the place.
No, exactly. If it's cold, you get coal tar and you get dust, because even any chimney will blow back at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with a soot chimney, like really bad, then it creates all sorts of problems. But like, this was, I think, originally fitted in this boat when it was built, and the guy that built the boat had it all reconditioned. It was quite expensive, but they are quite expensive, these things. So. Beautifully done, and I think really, if I had said there was one highlighted point on this boat, it would be the heater.
Yeah.
That would probably be my favourite thing here.
Yeah,
right?
I can feel the radiant heat coming off it.
Because it
and
makes
that's what you
so
want,
simple,
you know.
And I'll have a tank on the top, which is a gravity-fed tank, so it requires no electric, and which is perfect, you know. I mean, especially in the winters.
As you can see, it's dripping there, so that gives you an indication of the pace.
Yeah, the pace.
The pace at which it's using fuel.
Very old school.
Yeah, old school, but old school is best.
Yeah.
You know, clever ideas, they always
Can't go
break
wrong.
down.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very good. Yeah, and I had the boat with the original person that built this. Had to have this tray put on underneath for the so we could get fully com insurance on it.
Yeah.
And I've left it because it's safe and that, but it doesn't really leak or anything. So
Yeah. The thing is, it's radiant heat, and radiant heat is just, oh god, it's gorgeous. That's the thing we all I think fundamentally it's not just the seeing flames and stuff. With a fire, it's that radiant heat.
yeah,
You know, it's apparently very good for your body and your health and your mitochondria and all that stuff. So
it's also a really good height. I don't lose anything down here. I've still
Yeah.
got storage space. I've got a good place so I keep stuff warm or dry out. At the end of the day, having it at the bottom doesn't matter because the heat goes straight to the ceiling anyway.
yeah,
So
I'm going to
it's-
jack my wood-fired stove up higher, so it's basically targeted. The target for the fire is the human being that requires it. The boat doesn't need it, and the target is actually about 3 foot off the ground, really. Or if you're going to sit down, I guess.
Well, I tend to sleep this
2
way,
foot.
so when it's on all night and it'll burn all day, all night. As long as there's fuel in there, it'll just keep going,
Yeah,
which is perfect. But it's nice. It is cosy. It's
yeah,
one of the best things I've ever done. I have done it again, but I got very lucky with this boat.
yeah.
Got very lucky.
Yeah, you were telling me that you spotted it online and you
I was
and you
very
just
lucky.
went
It was
for it
almost
like a
like
rocket.
destiny. Me and the boat came together in the bizarrest way, and because the price was dropped, so it put it into. It's just everything happened right. And when I met the guy that had the boat for sale, we clicked very quickly. It was not a problem.
Yeah.
And he even allowed me to pay him off the last couple of grand because I didn't quite have enough money for it.
So if you want one of these, folks, there are only 3, and that's it. Only 3 of them
Yeah,
made.
this
That
is
was
the
it.
smallest. I believe they did 2 others and they got bigger, but we don't know enough about it because he was just an independent guy doing it as a hobby.
So he's probably long dead by now.
Well, I think he's still alive, but he's very old because
Yeah.
we do know somebody probably 3 or 4 years ago that said he was still around.
How old is the boat?
It was built in the 80s.
Yeah. These boats last forever, by the way. So
Yeah, it's
if
very,
you're ever going
very
to buy one of them, all you
dense.
got to do is check out the steel.
It's
If
very
the steel's
dense.
okay, then that's it. And even then, you can repair them. If you get if you get a pit hole in steel, you don't have to run around like a headless chicken about problems in life. You just get it fixed. With boats life, the problems are way, way smaller. Way,
They
way
are.
smaller.
They tend to be constant though.
Yeah, yeah, but you can tackle them one at a
But
time.
yeah, it's true. And the other thing is, it's very difficult to get somebody else to come in and do it. You've got to do it yourself, really, because most people don't like having anything to do with boats because all the sizes are different and everything's a little bit strange and peculiar.
Yeah,
I mean, this is all built recently, so it's not a problem. But yeah,
you don't want to employ these people either because they're expensive.
well, they can be. You're right, and
And that's the joy of this engine here, because as I said, it's an outboard motor. So if it gives you any real hassle, just pitch it.
yeah, absolutely. It was. I wouldn't say when I was looking at the boat, I looked at it as a negative. But before I actually managed to buy it, I'd actually come round to the positive of it.
Yeah,
I recognise the fact that you can have almost a dry keel. You don't lose so much space in the boat.
yeah,
The fact that it sits right at the back, and I love the wheel as well. Even though it doesn't work as well as a tiller,
yeah,
it frees up
tiller's
space
very
when
precise.
you're actually driving along.
Yeah.
If you had a tiller, it would
yeah.
probably,
You're too far back. Yeah,
well, you wouldn't be able to get in the door and stuff. It'd be in the way.
Yeah.
And if you've got 2 of you out there,
Yeah.
it just works. It
some
works.
boats have a tiller and wheel option, but I think I would prefer the wheel.
I think the wheel. Look, it's not
Yeah.
easy, right?
And it's there now
it takes a
anyway.
little bit of getting used
Yeah.
to. But we're driving at 4 miles an hour.
Yeah. You don't get any claustrophobia in here, do you?
Yeah.
I used to a little bit in the winter time, but this boat is a lot more. It's a lot better equipped. The Bayang Magila, which you'll see on my channel, was a bit more closed in and claustrophobic. So the thing about these boats that people don't realise is that you've got windows out, and you don't have like a street opposite. You've got like a beautiful view out there,
This is right.
and on the other side you've got a beautiful view out there.
This is normally shut down, and I
No,
look out this way.
This is not a terrific part of the canal, but what do you care? Because the only bit you see is those beautiful trees, and that's it. I mean, there could be a nuclear reprocessing plant beyond there, or God knows what, you know, but it doesn't concern you. That's all you ever see all the time is beautiful greenery, and you don't get the claustrophobic feeling because your eye gets to focus on long distances. A guy once said to me, he said, you know, I've got a small house with a 2,000 mile long back garden, and that's true. You know, you got the canal system is 2,500 mile long.
Stern or bow, and you see probably half a mile.
Yeah.
In either direction.
Yeah, and on top of that, you got that view down the canal there, if you can just see that on the camera, and
probably not.
And that's it. Lots and lots and lots of space.
Yeah.
And with this particular boat, you've got forward and stern windows. You know, doors and windows, doors with windows in them.
No, there's not at the back.
So you can actually
you can see out the front.
step out and sit there, or step out the other end and sit there, depending on where the sun is. You've just got it all. And if you want space and you want to have a barbecue or something like that, and make a mess and things, just do it on
Put the towpath.
On the towpath. Have your picnic, bath, barbecue, whatever, and then make a load of mess. Not litter, but just fat and bits of food and stuff dropped on, and it all just goes away. You know,
Exactly.
An easy life.
It's incredibly. It's one of the best things. I told you before. I did it before, loved it, but the boat I had before wasn't equipped like this.
No, it was a big one as well, wasn't it?
Well, it was a different type of boat.
Did you use all the space in that?
Yes, you
utilised all the living space.
It had 1110 beam on it.
Yeah.
So it was quite wide, but it was only, I think, 30 foot long. But at the same time, the space wasn't utilised like this.
Yeah.
It was an old-fashioned space.
There's a marina called the Hermitage Marina, and I've got a friend who lives on an old Dutch barge, and it's an industrial thing. It was there to do work, and the entire barge is uninsulated, freezing cold. He's got a stove in the centre which is more like a bonfire in a box, and he lives at the back part of the boat, which is
just
smaller than the space that we're in.
Yeah, I know.
So it makes you wonder, what's the point of all of this, you know? But don't buy more than you need. At the minute, I'm in my cabin. I'm finding I've got ample space there, lots of space. So
the space is really important, and I'm a minimalist as far as what I own. You know,
would you like more space, or are you happy enough?
I think the more space you have, the more you fill it with stuff. And most of the things we have, we don't need.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And even some of the things on here, I probably don't use like I should.
So anyway, let's talk about the
boat.
kit, the
kit that's on board.
The things you were talking to me
right.
The last time I came here about electric.
Okay. Well,
and fridges and
we have
toilets and this, that and the other.
We have 240 from a new inverter which I've just fitted just now. This is a 2000 watt inverter. Something went wrong with the last one. I don't really know what. So we have that. We have a 12 volt fridge. Obviously oven, grill, hob, all working nicely. If you go back a bit, I'll show you the fridge.
The hob is gas, LPG.
Yeah. This is the only thing that's gas.
It's a standard LPG arrangement.
Yeah.
Most boats have. I didn't have LPG in my cabin, and then I put it in, and then
so we're talking about this bit here. This is the shower area.
No, this is different.
Look, I can't stand up in here and shower, but I sort of sit down and shower.
You sit down and shower.
You know what I mean? But it's more of a splash area.
This is a job and a half, this man.
You don't get water everywhere.
I'm wondering. I'm thinking about having a bath, to be honest.
It's the water though.
Instead of just a shower.
This carries about 350 litres of water, and I then add it up with another 50 litres with two sort of like Jerry type can 25 litre bottles that sit at the front. But you know, you can't be running baths every day or even once a week, otherwise you'll be backwards and forwards to the tap.
Pull up against the water point, go nuts and wash everything that exists.
If I could stay right next to it, then I would just come into it, it wouldn't be a problem.
Because the one just up the road then, that's what I used to do. I used to like hose the boat down have a shower, wash clothes, do this, do everything.
He's fitted it all up just around the corner. This is the unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this what you'd call a shower, or is it a sitting in bath? Or
it's a shower because it's not a plug.
you
It's
can't
got an
utilise
automatic.
it as a bath.
It's got an automatic pump down there, so as soon as the water goes in, it just instantly.
It hits and goes. Yeah, I got you here.
Yeah.
Save your water.
Yeah.
I believe you. I know what you mean. It triggers immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. If you come this way a bit, I'll show you the fridge. Open it and have a quick look.
Yep. So this is a standard sort of looking domestic fridge. However,
maybe I should have cleaned that out. There you go.
However, what's different about it is it's 12 volt.
It's 12 volt, but it's also taller than most. Plus, it's got a freezer unit.
It's 240 as well.
No, it's just 12 volt.
Or just 12 volt.
Yeah, it comes on probably once an hour for five minutes. It uses probably about 4 amp.
You know, you've got a lot of kit here. Can you stand still here, or do you ever need to run your engine in order to boost up?
Well, I have a generator because the engine will actually supply a certain amount of power, but the solar is 600 watts. And it's just,
yeah, I said in a previous video I thought it was 300. Well, it was just a guesstimate. So he's saying 300.
It's 300. And by this time of the year, it's way more than I ever need.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pulling in more than I know what to do with.
So my situation in the Philippines and Portugal,
yeah,
I'm definitely going to beat you there because I'm going to have way more power than you will.
Well, I've got a water heater.
And if you can do all of this.
Oh, easy. Look, the water heater, come this way and look back and you can show them the water heater inside here. There we go. There we go, it's in here. Right, this is an electrical water heater.
No, this is an interesting point, all the preppers. So let's imagine that I'm not interested in living on a boat, right? Okay, what if you want to live in a cabin somewhere? Or, you know, my site is on
garden
Portugal.
shed, for Christ's sake.
You can do the whole shooting match.
Yeah.
Everything here you can kind of photocopy and put it in the off-grid living sort of situation. And he's managing to have a fridge, and that's very important. So you don't want to be going back and forwards to the shops every day, which the Portuguese tend to do a lot of. My shops are 2.5 kilometers away. So if you're able to, what I had planned, I've just like instantly changed my plans now. If you're able to sustain a fridge off your solar power, then you're laughing. You've got it sorted.
I think the fridge,
And he's doing it.
The fridge will run 9 months, well, let's say 40 weeks of the year without the addition of generated power. Because there are because we're in England here and it can get a bit dark and bleak.
Yeah. I think I might pull through in the winter in Portugal and do what you can't do here.
This here is
Plus I got a bigger roof, you know.
This was designed to go on boats that had outboards of 100 horsepower.
Yeah.
And they generate enough power to run this electrically.
So inside here is 12 litres of hot water
it will take 11
available.
litres of water.
11 litres of hot water available.
And right now I can have that thing on all day.
No, 11 litres is about 2 showers. So there's a couple. There's your shower, job done.
It switches off when it gets too hot, switches on when it cools down.
And that's it. And it's just sucking off the solar.
It just runs off the solar.
That's incredible.
If the solar's not giving it enough, it will come off the 300 amp hour battery side.
Because, you know, we do all of these things to make hot water. And what we do is we make these... the thing I see that's bad about these thermal solar heating systems is you generate a lot of hot water. And then you make a lot of hot water and you think, well, I've got like 1 million gallons of hot water. What the hell am I going to do with it? You make more than you need all the time. Whereas if you make electricity, you can always find a job for electricity. You can power up an electric chainsaw and go and saw some logs for the winter.
Yeah.
You can always find a job for it, you know.
Yeah.
And yes, it's not probably as 100% efficient as the as running a system which is totally thermal, but you'll get to higher temperatures using this method.
This runs at 60, goes up to 60 and it will switch on.
60
and then it drops down
degrees.
To 55 and then back up to
60 centigrade, really hot water.
I mean, it's extremely hot.
Well, 60, the key thing about 60 and why it's probably being set at 60 by the manufacturers is it's a sterilization temperature.
I hadn't thought of that.
Actually, I think 83 is the official pasteurization, but there's not much is going to live at 60 degrees. So you know, your water's kosher. So, you know, even if you pick up something in your water supply, this is going to kill it, and that's that.
But this is washing water, not drinking water. I have got drinking water here.
Yeah.
And this
well, you know, this is washing water, but
this runs through a filter.
Yeah. So
These are the filters.
Replaceable carbon filters.
It's drinking water already, but we just clean it up even more so just to make sure.
Yeah. And that you were saying that filter's used for something. What was that?
It's used for in fridges that have ice cube makers. It clears the water so they look like really transparent ice cubes.
Oh, right.
Okay, so if you're in London, you'd have bits of chalk in it or something like that, and it wouldn't look absolutely transparent. But
I've never seen those transparent ice cubes. I've got to have a look. There's some places in Alaska
it's a modern thing.
And Antarctica, apparently, which are just like glass, you know. It's like walking on water because there's no... The refractive index is the same as underneath. That must be spooky, that watching the fish underneath and not knowing how thick the ice is because it's transparent and you haven't got an idea.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah. So I think that's it. I think we covered everything. Shower, power systems, electricity, space. The bed is a single bed, yeah? Is that a single bed or is it? It doesn't look like a single. It looks a bit bigger.
A single. This area actually opens up to a Super King.
Okay, well, an American, you're American, any Americans listening to this, you've got different bed sizes. So you can Google what, I think I know what this bed is. You can Google British bed sizes and it'll give you the exact sizes, but I think a British single is 30 inches wide. This is wider, and I would say that this is, oh God, what do they call them? They're called singles, and then you got a double, and then you got a one in between, which I think is 4 foot.
Yeah,
and I would put my shirt on it.
And then you get a Super King. So the Super King's the largest. But
Kings and Super Kings.
It's just me here, right?
In all honesty, king beds are too big because if you sleep with a partner in a king size bed, all you'll do is cuddle up to a person. If you put a camera on the people, you'd find that they were close to each other, and all that wasted space. And given that you've got to conserve space.
I need a king size bed because I'm 6'2", and
but that's all length, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but you only get that with a king size bed.
Do you?
Yes, I know this because I've struggled with it.
You can actually get mattresses cut to size for boats. There are people who do it, but you're talking Wonga there. It's a few bob.
This is. I've got this made up as a single. It's slightly bigger than a single. It's a single, but the bed length is 6.
Yeah.
I think 6'4" or something like that.
Yeah.
I can sleep on that. It was one of the biggest worries when I bought the boat. Is I didn't want to spend years sleeping on something that wasn't long enough.
No, you weren't happy with.
No.
There's a cheat you can do, which is to put an extension on the bed, and you just put like a box there, you know, and then you put your pillow on top of the box.
It would have meant sleeping the other way round. However, duvets, when they pull over the bed, you won't know this, but my feet, when they extend from the bed, the duvet pulls on it. It makes me sleep on my front. Causes me a problem. Causes me a back problem.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
By the way, the dimensions of a narrowboat are they're 6'10" wide. So by the time you put your insulation in, you're losing length. So if you happen to be an American baseball player, you are not going to sleep across the boat, but you've no problem sleeping along the length of the boat.
This boat is 10 inches smaller than the normal narrowboat. So this is 2 meters across. It's actually smaller. Yes.
It's smaller?
Yeah, it's only 2 meters across. So it's a very, very well used piece of space. So yeah, it's actually quite lower as well. It's a low slung boat as well.
It's because of her curvy look. She doesn't look so narrow.
Yeah, she doesn't look it. I know, but she is smaller. But she also now gets underneath the license, which goes up. Yeah. If your boat is 6'10".
Well, the thing to bear in mind when you want to buy a boat, right, is that if you want to adopt this lifestyle, there are options. But the way the canals work is you want a boat which will go through the entire system.
Yeah.
So the length of lock, the smallest length of lock that constrains you, is 57 feet. You can put longer ones through, but you have to put them diagonally, and that really is not correct because that invalidates your insurance. You shouldn't be doing that. You should have a 57-foot boat and just put that through. Although you can get away with it. And the other thing is 6 foot 10 inches is the narrowest canal on the network. However, there's a caveat here, and not a lot of people know this, but the canal that sets the limiting factor on the whole system is the Llangollen Canal, which is 6 feet 10 inches wide, and you have to cross a bridge to get on it and so on. I'm not sure if that's a landlocked canal anywhere, where it's not connected to the system. I'm not sure. I've got to do some checking on it.
There are some bridges that are tunnels. I mean, that will only
there is one tunnel which you would have difficulty getting through.
That's not landlocked. That's definitely on the system.
I can't remember the name of that tunnel.
I can't either.
Yeah,
but it's people do tour guides up there.
Stansted Tunnel, I think it's called.
It's about a mile long or something. It's quite mad. Yeah, you have to go on your side and walk your way through it. Yeah.
So they check you out to see if you're the right size before you even go in. Because if you get stuck in, it's just hell. But not a problem with this boat, because it's also a constraint caused by length as well, you know. So the shorties will always get through that tunnel. But the this limitation of 6'10" doesn't apply to the rest of the network, because the rest of the network is 7 feet.
Yeah.
Now 7 feet, you might not think it's much, but that extra 2 inches is worth having if you're never going to go to Wales.
It's surprising when you go out, it goes up, the whole space just creates a bit more. Now, if I'd lived on a larger normal narrowboat and then moved to this, I may have found a problem with it mentally.
Yeah.
Okay, but I moved straight onto this. My last boat was a Dutch steel cruiser, so it was different.
Yeah.
But had I have moved, I probably wouldn't have bought it, because it would have felt small, and it would have felt that I couldn't achieve what I did on the while I'm moving down type of thing. But fortunately for me, it's the first boat. And I absolutely love this boat. The guy's done such a great job on it. And he was a very particular type of person who did everything as if he was going to own the boat.
Yeah, he's a fussy get. Yeah. Fussy gets a pain in the neck till you want to buy something off them, and then you buy something good. Yeah. You know, like, oh God, you're always polishing that car and whatnot. No.
You've done a
and then you want to buy the car,
like, you know. You can't fault it. I've gone over this, and I've seen from all the drawings and how he mentally thought about how he was going to attempt to do each job, and how each job was going to interact with each other. Very, very good. I'm a bit more cavalier than that.
I'm very much more cold adapted probably than you, and also dressed for it. And in here, this is a bit on the warm side for me.
It is a bit warm.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap it in there.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Lovely to see you again, Dave.
This is great. These folks on my channel, they seem to be more interested in boats than cabins, but I'm still building and doing things and renovating houses and doing cabin stuff as well. Okay, thanks a lot. Ati lago, makita tayo sa kana. See you later. Jesus be with you.
Okay, mate.